And what's real crazy about this whole situation is that this is happening where I grew up. This is my hood, my town, my city. And it's crazy to think that this would really happen, from, to where you're from. You never see that where you're at. You always see it somewhere else, overseas, but you never see it where you're at. And that's the crazy part about this whole situation, is that this is happening in my backyard. That quick trip I went to every day to get me a slushie. And it's crazy to think that over 60 years, we still haven't evolved. Nothing has changed. White denial and white guilt is what we have to deal with now. Because whites want to act like it doesn't exist. They want to close their eyes. But it's there, plain as day. They don't want to see it. They don't see it because they don't want to see it. That's all that is. We need to keep pushing forward. Keep fighting for justice. Because Mike, he represents all of us, and don't you ever forget that. That could have been my nephew, my uncle, my niece. That could have been me out there. We need to keep fighting for justice. No justice, no peace. Why is it that our black teens are shot dead and it's in the hands of the law in which they bled? And it's because of how the police misread his hands in the air and his submission as he lay there. That's bull if you ask me. You can't justify a teen laying in the streets. What threat did he cause being unarmed in his fleet? A young black man dead and unarmed. Now you got the whole black community ready and alarmed. Excessive force is how blacks are harmed. St. Louis summer, it suns out, guns out. We're killing our own people. What's that about? It starts today with what we've already allowed. We have to make a change and bring about a crowd. St. Louis is one of the most dangerous cities, so why are we so proud? Who are we as a community? Our teens don't even have the opportunity because we have more funerals than we do black unity. You can't be black and drive a nice whip, because you get pulled over and accused of selling zips, or ask who car it really is. You can't be black and carry a legal gun, because they worry about what our people have already done, yet whites shoot up movie theaters and they allowed to carry for fun. We must demand equality, raise our quality, increase our voices in quantity, because the law constantly proves its policies don't protect the black body. Guess one of my biggest fears was never making it, because growing up in the hood, you always see niggas taking it, baking it, faking it. The money, they was raking it, because being broke was no joke. All of us niggas was hating it. You don't know the struggle until the struggle's all you know. Find friends now, foes, trying to make a dollar turn into mo. But what foe? Just to see your homeboys rob your crib, then turn right around and help you look for the shit? It take money to make money. That's what everybody preach. But in the hood it go differently. We all got a goal we trying to reach. But what lessons is our communities trying to teach? We taught ain't no way to make it out the streets. We taught it's a body for a body, head for a head. We got the kids turning against each other trying to make some bread. They gonna end up in a cellar on the streets dead. And who gonna help them? The feds? The pigs just trying to lock up our kids trying to pave a way. They sell a zip because that's they only pay. How is they gonna make it come day by day? The hood ain't nowhere to play games. Say one wrong word, that's a cap in your brain. But who's to blame? Our kids were raised to think it's all about the money and the fame. And it's a shame that all they know is killing and dope dealing, and the one hood rat the whole squad billing. And when you ask them where their motivation, they rip their hood because they hood who raised them. But now who gonna save them? You don't know the struggle till the struggle's all you know. There ain't no saving our kids if the hood is what they live for. 5400 Walnut Park is where my fam go. They ride for their hood, and I bet you they die for their kinfolk. Freedom is defined by those who enslave you, break you, shape you, those who truly hate you. You're chained down by what to wear and what to think, where to go and when to blink. Freedom isn't free. Society controls your brain. You're the new slave. Society has the reins, invisible chains. And it's insane how the media controls your mind, how you're redefined by the misconceptions that form behind the screen on your TV that you believe so freely. But who controls what you're seeing? Meaning you're invisibly trapped and you're okay with that? New slaves chained down with gold chains, gold rings, material things. But we have to be the ones to change and rearrange the media's preconception and misconception and grab the nation's attention, and not to mention the officers who get a slap on the wrist and paid suspension. But this is just a lesson to take a jail sentence in our teens in heaven and show the media our presence and a positive aggression and start to question the black oppression that seems to be endless. I lost so many years and shed so many tears. And I heard him say nothing's ever promised tomorrow today. And it's time we build our community up and start to embrace, learn the law and your rights and start to debate. It's time we fight back and use our knowledge to awake the world in which we're afraid of those who claim to protect and save because we are the new slaves and our black teens are ending up in graves. We see all the time cops abusing their power, leaving dead bodies in the street for hours because behind that badge they're really a coward. So we have to start to feel empowered to overpower this political tower. Why is there so much black on black crime when there's everyone else who would hate to see you climb to the top and make it big time? St. Louis is turning into a war zone when it's the white supremacy that we must dethrone. Our black faces have black names with black streets with blood stains, and it takes black uproar to get a black face on black TV frames. Then the media quickly turns into chains around our brains that misinform and rearrange the anger and the voices from the people who claim to be oppressed, yet you continue to compress. But we're the criminals now, we're at unrest? You wanted to push and test, and the community finally wants to fix the mess that our leaders have let spiral into uncontrollable anger and threats. Rain soothes the pain as the drops fall down the pane and my thoughts drift from sane. My feelings get hard to tame as I cry out the Lord's name. Knowing things will never be the same, it's a shame. Sometimes it's hard not to question why our God can see us in such depression. Is it a lesson? I grew up in Jennings, heard gunshots every night, not to think twice who had to pay the price. But deaths never get easy, no matter how many it be, 'cause freedom ain't free. When you looking down the barrel, tell me what you see, 'cause tomorrow ain't a guarantee. It's just a never-ending cycle in the hood. Revenge is bittersweet, something I could never understood. But who could? No one is promised tomorrow. After death soon comes sorrow. My life is like a whirlwind, and I'm just caught in the middle. I watch the world spin. We must fight for justice, because the judges are filled with blacks busted for crimes the whites stoop. The law is corrupted, so their punishment is little to nothing. And if a white teen was shot dead for something, there'd be a huge media eruption. But our media's coverage is solely about the negative destruction, instead of focusing on the reconstruction of a city broken and trying to function because of a pig's preconceived notion that black skin means commotion. So we must come together and start the motion to challenge the policies set by law enforcement. Whites continue to be blind in white denial. It's probably because their mishaps lead to a trial. Being black will lead to a body bag and a file. We've been oppressed now for a while, and we find it wrong. You knock down grandma's door to find Lil Jerome, but we know the name of a murderer, and he's sitting back at home. And the fact that I call a friend a homie, I'm counting the days till I'm dead slowly. And if you look closely at the media's interpretation, it all looks phony. How can you sit and tell a black man how to feel when cops bring enforcement, a family just trying to heal? Yet you're calling on Jesus to take the wheel. We've been complacent for way too long but learned to deal. It's been a long time coming and the results are surreal. You kill our kids and discredit our thoughts. When we lose someone in the hood, we all take a loss. You worship the man that died on a cross, yet you given a badge to kill freely. No wonder there's chaos. How long did you think we'd sit back and be quiet? We've took the abuse for years and become compliant. And we've been giving up on the system and become defiant. Now we're the bad guys by starting protests and riots? In no way am I condoning the destruction of our city, but this act shows the racism in those rights pity, and our anger has turned into a violent spree and leaving our mark in endless debris. And though we may not agree on the degree that destroying our own homes is extreme, the deaths in the black community are way too routine. But we won't claim defeat. We must mourn our deceased, come up with a plan to achieve and then succeed. As black people, we must come together under all the high tensions and pressure. Let's turn ourselves into the aggressor and not take no for an answer. You see us march on the street, chanting no justice, no peace, fuck the police. We're looking for the officer's name to be released because we all know history repeats. It's time we stand up to the law enforcement who mistreat. We've taken the backlash and the heat, and it's time we fight back against the laws that cheat black men out of a life as they grab evidence to delete. We won't find justice with just us. This is a conversation the nation must discuss. We look at the law in disgust. They kill our people and ask for our trust. The black community has had enough. And we're taking charge because we're fed up that blacks are 33% more likely to be detained. Now that's fucked up. It's time for America to wake up because we're not giving up. The system is corrupt. No justice, no peace. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks. See you next time.